Hey everyone, it's Dee from Dee's Divine Guidance here for the fourth video of the Narcissism Series, okay? In the last video, I said to meet me here so that we could talk about what it feels like to be in that gaslighting stage where we think we're crazy, okay? But I want to backtrack for just a minute before we get there and talk about why we choose narcissists to be with, all right? Many narcissists are attracted to codependent people. Like I said in one of the videos, I'm losing track now. But in one of the videos, I said empaths and codependents are people that, like, literally we as codependent and empaths, we attract narcissists. And as a narcissist, they attract codependents because we want what they have and they want what we have, okay? So what is a codependent person? To me, a codependent person is someone that is constantly begging for validation outside of themselves, all right? How do we become codependent? Codependency comes from when you are, I believe, a child. And again, I'm not a medical doctor. This is just what I've been through and what I've learned. Codependency comes from, I believe, when you were a child or at some point during your life, if it wasn't childhood, where something happened, usually with their parents, or maybe friendships when they were smaller, but most likely with their parents, that one of their parents or both did not give them the love that they needed, all right? Either had addiction problems, was not even there, any circumstance that led to that parent not giving that child the validation that they needed. What does that do to the child? That child then tries to, the parent's job, right? A parent's job for a child is to give that child validation from them to them, but also from within themselves. Our job as a parent is to teach our children to love themselves, to value themselves, to find themselves worthy, right? So if we're not giving them validation, then sure as hell, they're not learning validation within themselves because the parent isn't giving them the validation. I hope that makes sense. So what does the child do? The child then starts to try to find validation from other people, all right? And going throughout your life, like especially as a woman, and if you had father issues when you were smaller, or even mother issues, you will then start to try to find that validation from the opposite sex. So if you were a boy and this happened, if you're a girl and this happened, you will then try to find that validation from the opposite sex. So then you start to go with people that are not good for you just because they're giving you attention and they're giving you that validation, right? But as a child, we felt the validation, but then it was taken away. So this is the habits and patterns that we're used to. So when we find a narcissist, and in the video prior to this where I describe where, they love bomb you and then it's taken away, this is what we're used to. This is what we flock to, right? So as a human, we flock to what we're used to. So as a child whose validation was taken away when they were smaller, we are now picking partners that are going to do the same thing to us because we are unaware of the pattern that we're in. So the codependent person is begging for validation. And if you watch the second video, that the love bombing from a narcissist in the very beginning, that is pure validation. So as a codependent and somebody's giving me all of that attention and all of that love and the daydreaming of my happily ever after, I'm going for it because I'm codependent and I'm not happy within myself. I need it from somebody else and this person's offering it. So I am going. Right? So that's what happens with a codependent. So we flock to these narcissists. So then all of a sudden it's taken away. And this is something that we're used to. So we settle with it. We live with it. But then again, the gaslighting starts and the manipulation starts. Now all of a sudden we're thinking it's us because it's always been us. I mean, our parents didn't love us because we weren't good enough. Right? So this is all the things that go through your head as you're going through this process with the narcissist, and they know that they've got you, and they can tell that you're doubting yourself and you're second guessing everything, and they know that they can just keep playing you, and you're just going to stick around, and you're going to keep giving them sex, and you're going to keep giving them money, you're going to be taking care of the kids, you're going to be taking care of the house, and they ain't got to do crap, right? So That's also empaths go to narcissists, because a lot of the narcissists with if you watch the video number 3, is the manipulation, the guilt trips, right? Or feeling sorry for me. Like, oh, feel sorry for me. I had such a bad life. I had such a bad life. And as an empath, you want to help them. You want to fix them. All right. One thing to get straight, guys, you cannot fix a narcissist. You cannot. They will not change. So don't even think about it. All right. How can they change when you're always wrong? They're always right, you're always wrong. So how can they change? All right, they cannot. So get that out of your head. But yeah, so codependency. So, you know, if we're with a narcissist, we get out of this relationship, which is the next video about breaking free. We're basically keep flocking to the same type of person. Keep flocking to narcissists. I've been with 3 of them now, okay? And I'm aware. So there's so many out there that manipulate you, and, you know, and stay off the online dating. I mean, yes, it might have worked for a few people, but most of them on there are not good for you, okay? If you do it, please, please, please just test them. Make sure that they're not narcissists. All right, but codependency and narcissists go together. So in order to get out of a narcissistic relationship, we need to work on the codependency issues. All right. So the next video is about breaking free and why we can't. All right. I will see you then. Bye.